What's going on, guys? Hopefully, you guys are having a great day. My name is Patrick Poole. If you guys don't know me already, General Manager. Live in Alabama, so just want to go ahead and get started. Welcome to another episode of Pat Talk. Pat Talk, I talk about my experiences and my things to help out people that just might need this information. A lot of people out there, they're trying to find themselves, and I love doing these. I love helping out people. So that's what we're going to do. So, like I said before, General Manager, love helping out people. I have topics that I like to discuss about, and if you haven't already, go see my other YouTube videos. Also, go ahead and subscribe if you like this video. I also have my Facebook and Instagram rolling through there as well in this video. So that way, if y'all are interested in connecting with me, y'all can go ahead and do that. So like I said, I'm here here to help you out. I got big goals, big ambitions, and I'm going to try to help out as many people as possible, do what they want to do, because that's what it's all about. So the topic tonight that we're discussing is something that I kind of got through a couple years ago, especially with COVID, is fear. Fear, I think, is the number one detractor that keeps people from really reaching exactly what they want to do. Because I feel like a lot of people in life settle because of fear. Fear is everywhere, and we'll go into that more into a second. But like I said, just wanted to make this video. If you guys like it, comment, go ahead and subscribe, and we're gonna go ahead and get started, guys. So, fear. It's a big word. It probably consumes everyone's part of the day, because we're always thinking about something that, oh well, if we could do this, or if I don't want to do that, or ouch, or something, or all that. So didn't get the definition of fear down before I got this video, because I really just want to put it in my context. But fear to me, fear in my opinion is the unwillingness to take a certain action or calling because of something else that you don't want to do. So basically what I'm trying to say is, you're not doing a certain action because you're worried about this. You're worried about something. You're worried about a certain outcome happening if you take action. So, for example, you're worried about going on a date with the girl because of what she might say to you when you ask her. Perfect example. Middle school, high school stuff, reality, that's a perfect example. So basically, you're not doing a certain action because you're scared of the outcome. And I think the first thing when it comes to fear is why do we have it? Fear, in my opinion, goes into another topic that I might discuss about in the future, which is negativity. Negativity is the natural instinct of a human being, because as human beings, we are always in survival mode. That's why people conserve money. That's why people don't want to do things, because we've been wired in our brains to think in a survival mode, to think of, oh well, I need to stay alive, which is important. You need food, you need water, you need shelter. That's survival. Like, you need to have those things. If you don't have those things, and clothing as well, if you don't have those things, then who knows what's gonna happen. So that's why we have it, because it's an instinct. It's I don't want to do these things because I want to survive, which is perfectly okay. But the number one condition that we have evolved into society is fear of doing things because someone else told us to, or someone else did this. And I get it. Again, we're in survival mode, but people need to realize that fear is something that you bring out of. Basically, it's not something. It's something to where you control, and if you don't want to fear something, then you don't have to fear it. I'll give you an example. So, and this will kind of go down into this. So, I used to fear social interaction with people. I used to be a very big introvert, and I was a very big introvert because I didn't like social interacting. I used to really fear really bad what other people thought about me, to the point where it just brought massive anxiety just to hold social conversations with anyone. It could be men, women, didn't matter. Like, I used to be so scared. I used to keep conversations short. I used to just want to go home after school and just go on my computer or go on my phone. I didn't want to deal with nobody, because I had a massive fear of just hanging out, and it was because I didn't know what I wanted. I feared. I just for me personally, I didn't know what to do. It happens. It's survival mode, and people don't want to do things because they clearly have they're afraid of a certain outcome. And the thing about it is, I feel like most of the fear when it comes to stuff as humans is other humans, because we are a species. As human beings, we I mean, especially nowadays with social media, there are so many things that people look at and people think and censor and all this stuff, and it's just like, dude, I understand for people that fear other people, because you can put a tweet or an Instagram or a Snapchat of yourself and anyone can look at it. That's kind of scary. That's kind of frightening, because you don't know what people's intentions are. You don't know what the outcome's gonna be, and I get it. But there's a couple things of how I have combated fear that I'm gonna talk to you about. But to continue on what I'm saying, you guys probably know what I'm about to say is what I just talked about was anxiety. Anxiety is basically anxiety is fear. Anxiety is basically you fear something, and it causes you to respond in a certain way. So I used to have really bad anxiety. Like, I used to go to a counselor when I was in the second grade, because I didn't I wasn't social. I didn't like talking to people, and this continued through elementary, middle school, high school, a little bit through college. Dealt with some addictions on certain stuff, and the reason why I used addiction and I had to go to counseling and all this stuff, throughout the time I was a kid, I was really uncomfortable with myself. I was really uncomfortable with. I didn't. Everyone has a story. Things happen to everybody, but I didn't realize I was so focused on the issues that I had been through. I was so focused on the things that I went through that I allowed that to carry on into my present state at the time. And the thing about that is I mean, that's also a form of depression too. Depression, in my opinion, is when you're worried about something in the past to where you can't move on in the present and the future. And we all go through that. And the thing about it, guys, is that it is perfectly normal for you to go through experiences, and you're trying to figure it out, because a lot of people don't get the mental health or the treatment that they need because they're too worried about what the other people will say. Well, the first thing that we're gonna get to how to combat that, but that's just something that I went through personally, and there, it's growing pains. It's a hard experience. It's hard experiences that we go through, but I promise you this: anyone that has been through any situation can come out of any state in a better way with the right information, and that's what I'm about to talk about right now, which is the other side of fear. So I want you guys to think about this: yin yang theory, good, bad. There's always going to be good. There's always going to be bad. Right and left, black and white, tall, short, big, little. All these things. What do all these things have in common? I learned a couple months ago something called the law of polarity. So, and you guys know this too. You've got heard of this too. You got positive, which is the plus. You got negative, which is the the bad, good, the bad, and then you have the center line, and that center line is basically the gray area. So my feeling in life is that you have a positive side, you have a negative side, and you have a gray area. I'll give you an example. So when you're running a business, you're gonna or just in life in general, when you're doing things in general in life, sometimes there are some things you just can't control. That middle area, it could be anything. I'll tell you something. I drove my car a couple weeks ago going to a city, and my car blows out on the interstate. Not my car, sorry, my tire blows out on the interstate. Unexpected, didn't know. I'm like, what the crap? I'm over here changing the tire for an hour and a half. There's going to be that gray area in life. Like, basically, it's almost as if there really is it is what it is, because sometimes things happen that are just out of your control. It doesn't matter how many times that you try to brainwash it, be perfect, structure, steps every single day. Sometimes stuff just happens. We can't explain it. We try to figure it out, but it never adds up. And but that's the thing too. Sometimes we spend so much time worrying about the gray area and things that we can't control that it hinders us from getting to the next level in our lives. And we'll talk about this too in the video, you have to let go of the things that you can't control. I'm going to say it again. You have to let go of the things that you can't control, because you're not always going to get everything that you exactly want the right way. Sometimes some people do, but it's really hard because we don't know what's going to happen 5, 10, 15, 30 minutes from now. That's why a lot of people are anxious, because they look at they might have had a situation, or they might, or something like that. Then they process it in the now, and now they're worried about their future state happening. So they're worried about an outcome, something that has not happened yet, because they're focused on things that have happened in the past, or this experience, or this person did this, or that person did that. And the thing about it is, guys, is you have to learn, something, which is, and I saw this actually yesterday on Instagram. Shout out to social media in a good way. If you are depressed, it's most likely because you're worried about something from the past. And if you are anxious, it's because you're waiting on something that about something in the future that hasn't happened yet. And the thing about it, guys, is if you are not depressed, if you're not focused on the past, but you're also not really worried about the future, which is what we'll talk about in a little bit, you're where you need to be. You're in the present. You want to live in the present. I'm not saying you can't have goals in the future, and things in the past might hinder you, but you have to find a way to where, the past has happened. It's done. It has been written. That part of the book, when you flip back at that book, that stuff has been written. You can't erase it. You can't change it. It is done. It is written, and it's set in stone. The future has not happened yet. You don't know what story is going to happen. You don't know the people that you're going to meet. You don't know what your next car. You don't know. We can wish on it, and sometimes we get it, because a lot of people, and there is some too. Go look up Bob Proctor and I'm So Happy and Grateful Now, Think and Go Rich. You can definitely move waves into the future, but again, we don't know exactly how the future is going to align every single day, and that's why that anxiousness sets in, because we get so caught up in something that hasn't happened yet, where it's like, well, dang, but I promise you this, as long as you live every day and focus on the moment, the bad won't affect you, and the future it's not gonna overwhelm you or make you overthink. So that's the main thing about anxiety, is just you have to learn how to let go of that past. The past is written, it's set in stone. You can't change it, but then at the same time, you have to look at your future. But okay, the future has not happened yet. Even the things and the goals I have set, they still not. I have to work to get to those goals. So why don't I pay much more attention to the now than worry about a future state that has not happened yet? And that's just the way that I combat that. So speaking of combating, we're gonna talk about the solution, the other side of fear. So the other side, well, they talk about fear and greed, which is true. I think greed is the opposite of fear, but here's the thing. Here's the good side of coming out of fear, and I think the good side of coming out of fear is yourself. Let me tell you why. So I had really bad anxiety. I used to fear a lot, but I had to realize something. And what I had to realize is that in order for you to stop fearing, you have to once again you have to basically let go of your ego, let go of everything that's hindering you. Because like when you have anxiety, and I felt this before, sometimes you have anxiety attacks so bad that like it causes like the nerves to just like it's bad. So what has to happen is that you have to. What has to happen is that you have to. Let me get this. What has to happen is that you have to believe in something bigger than yourself, and I don't know what that is. I believe in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. If you want to go do that, you can go do that. But the first thing to getting rid of your anxiety is you have to believe in something bigger than yourself. And why is that important? Because you are human. You are going to make mistakes. You are not perfect. We can do extraordinary and amazing things, but we still have to learn and go through experiences in order for us to grow as people, in order for us to excel and move forward up the value ladder, up the chain of life. That's why, when you elementary, middle school, high school, college, it's elevation. Your job, you go from a cashier to a manager to an assistant manager. It's all about life. Is all about levels. It's all about working your butt off to get to the next level. There is no easy route. Anyone that tells you that's an easy route, that's a lie. They're trying to sell you a dream. Life is not easy. It's not easy for me right now, but at the same time, I'm grateful and happy that I have what I have, because the experiences that I have been through, if I had not gone through them, I would not be making these videos right now. There's no way, because I wouldn't know who I was as a person to get to this point. So this is the thing, and I'll tell you mine right now. My other side, my fear, my biggest anxiety, and I mentioned this, but I'll mention it again. My biggest anxiety of my life was I was scared of what other people thought of me. I was scared to express myself and tell people, who is Patrick Poole, what he's been through, what he likes, what he doesn't like, because I was scared of the outcome that I was going to get back. I was too scared of, he thinks that I'm this, and that's what my mindset was. I'm scared of what he thinks of me. I'm scared if I tell him this, he's going to react like that, and it used to bug me. But I realized something, and this was during COVID, and it was really the mindset of, you have to believe in something bigger than yourself. You have to. If you can't, then what's going to happen is that your ego is going to drive you off the wall, because you think that you know everything, and it's going to depress you. You're going to be anxious. You're going to be hooked, and you don't have to do that. I really am here and that's the thing. Like, I really am here to help people. So that's just one thing. That's just, at least for me personally. Maybe there's a different way that you handle your anxiety that I don't know about. I would love to hear back from you guys about that. But really, it's about that. It's that other side. Once you go over your biggest and your biggest fear, your biggest anxiety, I'm telling you, the world opens up for you. And that's just for me personally. But for me, once I got through my biggest fear, everything changed. I don't have anxiety anymore. I don't have the rapid heart rate. I'm not worried about what people really say as much, because I'm focused on myself. And it takes time. And the thing about it is, everyone is different. Everyone has different growing pains. So you have to figure out your situation. And it might still require you to go talk to somebody important or anything like that. But you have the ultimate power through knowing that if you go above your biggest fear on the other side of your biggest fear is your destiny. Because that's where I'm at right now. I would not be doing this hadn't I not gone over my biggest fear, which was being sociable and caring about what people thought about me, which I love people, but I still don't care what they think about me, because that's not important. So that's the thing. The other side of your fear, the other side of the other side of your experiences and what you're worried about in the future, the other side of that, it's you. I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. I've had this experience, but I'm also very blessed to be in the position that I am, because people forget, like, the experiences. If it's the experiences that made you, now you have a story. Think about it like this: when people like telling stories, so if you have no story, you don't have any value. But because you have a story, you have value that you can give to somebody else, because Think about it. As human beings, we all have different lives. We all have different experiences. We all have different outcomes. We all have different solutions to problems. Because think about it, life is problems. We have problems. But think about how people grow. People grow because they go find solutions from other people. The most successful people are not scared to go ask for help on a certain thing because they know that someone else might have the thing that they're looking for. The way that I compartmentalize life is I take different ideas from different people and I make it into my own. Because if you do that, then now you have the leverage to go do what you want to do. If you want to be a commercial airline pilot, which I have aspirations one day, then you might as well go look for a freaking pilot and learn from him and figure out if the way that he did something is right for you. Because if the way that he did something is right for you, then congratulations, you're on the right path to success. But if you need to go to a different route, then you might have to go talk to a military pilot. If you want to be a firefighter, then go talk to a firefighter in the field. Learn what he did. Learn the mistakes that he made. Learn these things. Learn about how people operate, and then figure out if that's the best thing for you. Because that way you can gather a plan. Because what I'm telling you right now is the future aspect. Because a lot of people worry about the future aspect of what they want to do in life. Well, in order to get that future aspect, you have to know exactly what you want to do. Because when you know exactly what you want to do, anxiety for the future decreases. So the thing about it is, I'm not anxious about the future right now because I know exactly what I want and how I'm going to get there. Now, is it going to happen on the right timing? I don't know that. I have goals for that, but things happen. But I truly believe that if you find what you want to do, you find the connections, you find the right people, and you implement it the way that you want it to be implemented, when that time comes, you will have the plan ready to go. You won't have to worry about, oh, well, I don't know. You know what to do. It's done because you have mentally prepared yourself for the next chapter of what you want to do. And that's how you get rid of that future fear aspect, is knowing exactly what you want to do from whatever person or talk show or ad or something that you listen to. It's the most important part. So that's why I think believing in something bigger than yourself is important, because when you remove the ego out the way, what comes on the other side is what you need to do to be successful. And that's really it that I have for this video. Again, I just wanted to bring this out to you about how really I've changed my life getting out of fear, because like I said, fear is a natural state, but it's also a state to where you can control it by going out there and doing what you want. Like I said, I love helping you guys out. So again, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. I got my link in my bio, which has more about my blog and my website that I do. And like I said, guys, just go out there, live fearless, do what you want, figure out what's best for you on your journey to what you want to do in life, and man, just go make it happen. See you guys on the next video.